Okay, so I'm just showing you what I got going on here. No makeup. I've got some dark circles under my eyes, some redness, and I have this kind of like darkness on the top of my lids. It's just like the way my skin is, so it always kind of, there's always this color there. So I just want to show you what my face looks like with no makeup. Now I am using the BB cream and the Younique concealer. They're both the lightest colors. It's cream and scarlet. And what I'm actually doing is mixing them together. This is actually like a light summer look that I'm doing today. It's freezing winter, and I just felt like doing something bright and summery. So that's basically what's going on here. So I actually went and mixed the two together with a brush, and the color, it's actually the lightest color, and it's too light for me, but the BB cream will go on kind of sheer. So what I did was I just blended it really well, and it wasn't like, I wasn't like ghostly pale. So, but I would normally use a little bit darker of a color, but this just happened to be what I had on hand, so just making it work. So I'm going back with a stippling brush, and it kind of gives it like a light airbrush finish, so it tones it down a little, so it's not so incredibly bright. So that's what I'm doing there, and then afterwards I go back in with some bronzer and blush, and it actually works out where I'm not so incredibly pale, even though I have a really light color on. So then I just go in with a blending bud and clean up any little areas that needed to be blended in a little bit better. And then I just go and take my concealer with a concealer brush, and I put it underneath my eyes. I have some redness around my nose, so that's why I'm putting it around there. And then I put it in the middle of my nose and on my forehead and my chin just to highlight a little. I was only just going to drop my girls off to daycare, so I just didn't want to go crazy with my makeup. But I just happen to have, the light product, so that's why I kind of went in and just lightly did a little bit of highlighting with that. So, it's pretty good coverage. Even though the BB cream is kind of sheer, you still get, decent coverage. It's not as good of coverage as you would get with, like, the full coverage foundations, but it still works. And with that concealer mixed in it definitely kicks it up a little. So I just went in with the powder puff brush and the powder foundation, and actually this one I have in organza, which is the right color for me, so it's not quite as pale as it was, so that kind of helps to add a little bit of color back in. And then I'm going to go back later and add in some more color with my bronzer and my blush. So, and this is just my mineral concealer that I like to use. It's in Fierce. It's the darkest color. I like to use that for contouring. It's amazing. It's the perfect color, but I didn't feel like really getting into it, because I was not even really going anywhere. So I just went in with my bronzer and just kind of gave myself an all-over color. And that's something that you might want to do, like if you're using this for a summer look, you might not want to go crazy and pile on a bunch of makeup. So kind of works with the theme. I just basically gave myself a little bit of all-over color with the bronzer. I used the Beachfront bronzer in Hermosa, and I actually did put it almost over my whole face, and you just want to be careful, make sure you have the right color so you don't end up orange if you do that. And then I used the blush in Seductive. And I like to see a lot of colors. Some people don't like to go too crazy with it. I think it depends on your, your skin tone and your face shape, what you can kind of get away with. But I like to have a lot of colors, so I put it on kind of heavy, and then I just kind of blend it in with my hands a little bit, and it just kind of takes the edge off, so it's not so bright. And I actually just made a little mistake here. I got some blush in my concealer, so that's why I'm just going back and touching that up again. Okay, just setting with the powder again. And now I'm doing my eyebrows. I'm using the Younique eyebrow pencil. It has a little brush on the end, so you just kind of brush them into place. And then it has like a tiny little pencil tip, so it's perfect for filling in your eyebrows because it's not too big, so you can really control where it goes. If you just want a little bit of color, it's easy to do that. Or if you want a lot of color, it's easy to do that too. So no matter what kind of look you want, you really have more control with a small pencil. I use the pencil in medium, and then I go back in with the medium gel and set them in place. And the gel actually has a little bit of a tint to it, and it has fibers in it, so it will fill in any sparseness. So if there's any areas that you miss with the pencil, it's good for that. But also, if you just wanted to use the gel, if you don't really need to fill them in too much, you can use just the gel, and that'll just fill in if you happen to have any like slightly sparse areas. So for my eyes today, I'm using the Addiction palette number 2, and there's a beautiful bronzy gold color on there. Actually, it's not bronzy, it's like just like a perfect gold. And then there's a matte brown. So those are the colors that I'm using for this look. And first thing I did, what you just saw me do, was put on the eye primer. That's going to help the colors last all day, and it's going to help the colors really pop. But these actually last pretty well on their own, even without that. But if you're going to be out in the hot sun, you're going to want to definitely use a primer, because that's going to give your makeup staying power. So I just go and put them on my lid with a brush. You can really use any brush. I believe I used the angled brush that Younique has a brush. It's an angled brush on one end, and then there's a liner brush on the other end. And that's what I use to put the color on. But you can really use any brush to, apply your color. And what I did was I just put the gold on my lids. And then I use the same brush, because I wasn't going to be using it again for the light color, and I just put the dark color around in my crease. And then I actually go back in with the crease brush and blend everything in. And you can use the crease brush to put the color on, but I like to use just like a different brush for a dark color and then blend with the crease brush, because then you don't have a ton of color on the crease brush, so it's not getting all over when you're blending. So that's why I did it that way, but you can put the color on with the crease brush if you want. So I like the crease brush for blending, because the bristles are kind of stiff, so it really does the work for you. And I just kind of like pat around the edges, and then I pull the color in. I just see how I'm just kind of like patting, and then I just kind of like pull it in just to blend so that there's no harsh lines. And then I actually ended up, the color wasn't even, so I ended up putting a little bit more on the one side, so that's what you're going to see me do here. And then I just go back in and blend it all again. And I didn't feel like putting on like a really bright highlighting color on the top, so I actually just end up using the Curious mineral powder. And I like to use, for highlighting, I like to use Curious or Angelic, and Curious was just happened to be the one that I grabbed, so that's why I use that one today. And I use this like fluffy fan brush to put it on, because it goes on really light, and it's not actually a Younique brush, it's just like this $2 brush I got at the drugstore. So it works really good for for that purpose, and it helps you to highlight really lightly. So if you're not like going out and you're just trying to do a daytime look, but you want to add in a little bit of shimmer, it's really nice for that. And the Curious it's like a white color, but it has like a little bit of an iridescent shimmer, almost like an opal color, like pink and green shimmer. So it's pretty. It's nice for highlighting. So you can see I just put a little bit on my cheekbones, and then on above my color on my eyes, underneath my eyebrows, and then just like a little bit on my forehead, my nose, and my chin. And somehow I screwed up my eyebrows, so I'm just going and fixing the shape with that. That's what I'm doing there. Okay, so now I am putting on my mascara. There's 2 products, 3 steps. Gel, fiber, gel. It's a transplanting gel, and then the fibers, and then you set it with the transplanting gel. So I like to put it on a base coat and then do the gel, fiber, gel. So I'll get into that in a minute, but right here I'm just actually taking a little bit of concealer and just fixing the edges of my makeup. I actually have like this naturally dark line that kind of goes like around my eyes. So I usually just fix it with concealer. No matter what my makeup looks like, it always kind of like looks a little strange there if I don't do that. But you can actually do this even if you don't have that issue. just to kind of like clean up your makeup and give yourself some nice clean lines. Okay, so I just used the concealer and then a little bit of powder to set that. Okay, so now here I'm putting on a base coat of mascara. What I do is I put the base coat on, let it dry just for a minute, and if you have other mascara, you can actually do this with the other mascara. You know, you can do whatever you want. I don't have any other mascara, so I use the transplanting gel as a base coat. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of putting it on. You're just going to want to get your lashes like where you want them. Make sure that they're brushed out in the area where you want them to be, because then you're going to actually build it up with the transplanting gel. And it's funny because I always have trouble with this eye. I don't know why, if it's because I'm using my right hand and like reaching across, but I always have a little bit of trouble with that side, so I always have to go back and kind of mess with it a little more. So you're going to see me have a little bit of an issue with that side, and I just go back in with the lash comb and just fix it. So that'll help you see how you can fix your eyebrows or your eyelashes if you don't get them perfect. So here I'm putting on the base coat, transplanting gel, and then you're going to put the fibers on. And my little secret that I do, I go down, up, and then with the transplanting gel, and then down, up with the fibers. And for some reason, it works so good. It builds them up so much. And then here I'm just kind of had a little clump there, so I'm just kind of brushing it out with the lash comb. But yeah, I go down, up with the transplanting gel, and then I just let it set with the fibers, and I go on and do it on the other side. And this is where I'm having the trouble with the one side. For some reason, I gotta really brush it out to get them even. I always somehow seem to get clumps on that side. I think it's just because I'm right-handed, so that's what I'm doing there. We go down, up. I don't know if you can see it when it's going so fast, but I'm going down, up, and then fixing my mess again. See, I have a little bit of trouble on this side. But I wanted to show you so you can see, like, if you don't get your lashes perfect, you don't have to take them off and start over. You can just go through with that brush, and you can fix them. It's, you know, it's fixable. So, all right, so I did gel fiber on each side, and now I'm going back in with the gel to set it. See how big those lashes get? Just from that, like, down, up. I don't know why it works so much better, but it's amazing. Someone taught me that, and I just think it's like the coolest thing. It works so good. As you can see, I got a little bit of mascara on my lids, like on my color where I put on my eyelids. So I end up going in with like I think with the crease brush, I went in and just kind of cleaned up the mess afterwards. And I actually had a little bit of fibers fall out onto my cheeks while I was doing this. So what I did was at the end, I just take the powder puff brush and just brush them off. They come right off. And after you set it at the end with the transplanting gel, it actually goes and, you know, it stops the fibers from falling out. But because I stop and let it kind of set for a minute, you might get a little bit of fallout if you do it the same way. So that's why at the end I'm going to go in with the powder puff brush and just kind of brush all over my face. I'm just getting some little fibers that fell off. And they don't hurt you. They don't stick to your skin or anything. They come right off. So, yeah, and there I just kind of poked myself in the eye with the lash comb. But the good news is that the mascara is water resistant. So if you do that like I did, or if you know, for some reason if your eyes are tearing up, if you cry or anything like that, if you get caught in the rain, the mascara is not going to come running off your face like a regular mascara. And so that's what I'm just cleaning up the mascara off the color that I got on there, and I'm just setting this one last time with my transplanting gel. And you can see how long they are and how dark. I love how they get really dark and bold. Like, even my lashes are naturally long, but they get so much darker and bolder with the Younique mascara than with any other mascara I've ever tried. So I love it, and I'll never go back to any regular mascara. It just looks like you have fake lashes. So here I'm putting on Prodigal lipstick. It's like a nude, almost like an orangey peachy color. And I don't really like this color by itself on me, but what I actually did was I put a different color of, or not a different, it's like a similar color lip gloss over it. So just to show you how even if you don't like a color of mascara or of lipstick, or if you do like a color but you want to change it up a little, you can actually customize them with the lip glosses because they are colored. So, but they're also a little bit sheer, so you can kind of change up the look with, even though you have limited products, you can really, your possibilities are almost endless because you can really customize. But what I did was I put Ladylike lip gloss over the Prodigal lipstick. And so it comes out this bright, gorgeous, like almost like neon orangey color, like a peachy orange. It's so pretty. Perfect for like a summer day, or like if you're going on like spring break to the beach or whatever. It's like a really awesome summery color. And it's winter here and it's going to be winter for a long time, but I just felt like having a bright color.